families, I thought I'd do another kind of video walkthrough of our most recent weekly update that I literally just hit send on. This is for anybody that just does better hearing information, or anybody that maybe didn't get it, or if our emails accidentally go to spam, just to make sure we're all on the same page, because this one especially has a couple really big announcements that I want to be really clear about and make sure that everybody understands. So the very beginning part of this email is about mask usage requirements. So up until this point, we have been leaving it up to the dancer whether they want to wear a mask or not in classes, and then we have been requiring all of the families coming in to wear masks, like the state government has been requiring in Kentucky. After talking to a couple different doctors and a couple different legal experts, and doing my own research on different studios and the benefits that masks could provide, we are going to start requiring those for the 2020-2021 dance season, but only for pre-professional division. So that would be dancers ages 8 and up from level 1 through 6, and obviously the adult classes as well. The youth division, we are not going to require them, but obviously if you want your kid to wear a mask, then you should definitely do that. But when they're that little, there's breathing implications with that, and then messing with them and touching them and actually increasing their exposure because they are touching their face more. So just kind of walking through that, I had some numbered bullet points here. Number one is we have not been requiring masks in our summer intensives and summer classes so far. At the beginning of the summer, our numbers looked really good, and then I've been kind of keeping up with the news, and I didn't want to cause kind of a bait and switch with families and be like, oh, and by the way, you're required to wear a mask, because that felt like an extra burden. And by the time kind of those requirements were being put in place, we were already into our intensives. With the rising cases, it's safer. I think it's the best decision for us. This is an additional guideline and requirement, and that's being added on to our health check station and our increased sanitation. So just because we're requiring masks doesn't mean that we're not going to keep up with disinfecting the studios, the high-touch surfaces between classes, or getting rid of our self-reporting health check station that just verifies that you're feeling well that day and you should be there. And then this absolutely doesn't apply to dancers that have any breathing issues. So asthma that's triggered by mask wearing, lung issues, anything that falls into that category of a medical issue that prevents you from wearing a mask, this does not apply to you. We're going to go on the honor system with that. So if you tell your instructor, I cannot wear a mask, we're going to believe you. We don't need a doctor's note. We don't need your parents to say it. But we hope that all the dancers are going to wear them out of respect, just because we are, we're around each other a lot. And intensives were pretty small, and we felt pretty good about it. But now that we're having several different groups of dancers come in and share the same space, we have to be more careful. So if you have any questions or follow-ups or suggestions on that, I'm totally open to it. We're just going to try to get our numbers down with the rest of the state, and we're going to try to keep us safe, because really all it takes is one case to close us down for at least a couple of weeks. We're also doing some research into the best material for masks. I'm going to reach out to other studio owners I know around the country, and I'm going to reach out to some of the producers of masks for ballet companies and see what they recommend. And then if I can get whatever that material is in, then we can make it like a studio-wide project, so we have like our dance studio mask that we all wear, if that makes sense. So there's something to think about. And then this is our next thing is kind of planning ahead for potential distance learning. So with the numbers and with the schools announcing that they're going to go mostly virtual or all virtual for this first semester, or pushing back their start dates for our smaller private schools in the area, I want to be sure that we are better prepared for distance learning when and if that happens again. Because we handled it really well, considering we had never considered that possibility when this first hit in March. And I think it was successful overall. I think I learned a lot, absolutely, as a teacher and as a business owner and as a director of a studio. And I think the dancers learned a lot about self-motivation and what it looks like to kind of keep yourself accountable. I had the opportunity to kind of talk to some of the pre-professional dancers that were at intensive this week And I got some really important feedback from them that's kind of informing my decision. But I also want to get some parent input and then some other input from other dancers that maybe I haven't had the opportunity to talk to about this. So we have like a Google survey. It's a link that you click and then you'll fill out the questionnaire and then I get the results for that. You don't have to tell me your name. There's an optional name line if you don't mind me knowing who you are in case there's a question I have and I can follow up with you, but if you'd rather not say, that's like totally fine. The questions basically are asking about your preference of platform, your comfortableness level of class size right now, and whether you would feel better going all virtual or partial virtual or just limiting or private lessons, just gauging where everybody is on their comfort level. And then specifically speaking to what some of my older dancers were telling me when I was talking to them about it, increasing accountability about dance class. Some of my pre-pros were saying that they felt like they needed to be held more accountable for showing up to their dance classes and completing their dance classes, kind of in the same way that school is holding them accountable. So I just want to get kind of a parent perspective and a more diverse group of dancer perspective on what that means. Because we are seriously considering, at least me for my classes and probably several of the other classes, considering moving to like a Google Classrooms kind of place where there can be resources and videos and lessons and still having live lessons, but recorded options also, and then expecting assignments to be turned into us of videos of them doing combinations. So we still have that dialogue with the dancer and we can give them personal attention that's really hard to do virtually without that kind of one-on-one, one video to one teacher ratio, if that makes sense. So I'd really appreciate if anybody can and has the time to go and complete that Google survey, and I'll also share that on our social media so we make sure we reach everybody, because I would really like more input on that, because I do not know what it's like to be a student during a time like this, because I never had to do this, or to be a parent of a student in a time like this. Enrollment is still up. I imagine that a lot of people have been waiting to kind of see what the numbers look like and see what school's going to look like before they decide, which I think is totally prudent, and I get it. We do have several classes that are near capacity or at capacity now, so just bear in mind that the longer you wait, there's the potential you're not going to get the class on the evening and at the time that you want. So be sure, if that is like you can only do X class at X time, you might want to let me know to hold a spot or go ahead and register now, so you don't lose out, because there's not a lot I can do. We can't go over capacity. And then next week we have performance and production camp. I think we have 5 or 6 young people that are coming in. I'll have an assistant with me as well, but it's me the whole day. I'm recommending masks for that one, even though that's still in our summer and a lot of them are younger, so that's at parent discretion. I will have a mask, my assistant will also have a mask. We still have some spots open in that since it's a small group and we can spread out a lot and socially distance, but it's going to be super fun. So if you want to sign up for that, let me know. We do offer, payment plans and scholarships or whatever we need to do to make that happen for you guys if that's something that you think would benefit your dancer. And I'll make sure you get the email with all the details of what to bring every day. And that should do it. Those were a couple really big announcements, so please do not hesitate to reach out with questions and concerns and ideas, because I do value all of your input, because I'm only one person and I don't know everybody's life. I don't know everybody's experience with this, and so I want to be sure that we are making collectively the best decision for all of us, and that I, as your dance educator, am providing the best that I can to you as my clients. So I will check in again with you all shortly, and I will provide that link for you all to complete that survey so we can make a really good plan B for if we do need to go to distance learning again. But I'll see you later, dancers.